I was standing at my husband's graveside in Ikoyi cemetery when my phone rang. Unknown number. I ignored it. Who takes calls at their husband's burial? But the phone kept ringing. 5 times. 6 times. When it rang the 7th time, my friend Temi whispered, "Babe, just pick it. Wetin dey happen?" I answered. The voice on the other end made my blood freeze. "You need to come to Abakaliki. Your husband was also my husband. And there are things you need to know before his family finishes everything." The line went dead. Let me back up, because none of this makes sense without knowing who Chukwudi was to me. Or who I thought he was. We met at Zenith Bank headquarters in 6 years ago. He was a relationship manager, I was in operations. Fine boy, well-spoken, drove a clean Camry. Not those Yahoo boys with their loud lifestyle. Chukwudi was the kind of man Nigerian mothers pray for, stable job, respectful, went to church every Sunday at House on the Rock. Our wedding at Civic Center was the talk of Instagram. Also Ebi sold out in 3 days. My mother cried happy tears. "Chinaza, God has answered our prayers," she said, adjusting my gelly. "This is a good man from a good family. His mother, Mama Chucks, loved me. Or so I thought. She would come to our apartment in Lekki Phase 1 every other weekend with fresh fish from the market. 'My daughter, you're taking care of my son well,' she'd say. I can see it in how he's glowing." For 5 years, we lived what I thought was a beautiful life. Yes, Chukwudi traveled often. He said the bank sent him to supervise branches in the east. Sometimes he'd be gone for 2-3 weeks. But he always came back with gifts. Ankara from Oraria Market. Abakaliki rice. Once, a full goat. "Baby, I missed you die," he'd say, wrapping me in those arms that made me feel like the safest woman in Lagos. We were trying for a baby. That's what I thought was next for us. That's what I was focused on when I started noticing the small things. Like how he had 2 phones but I only ever saw him use one. "Work phone," he explained when asked. "You know how these bank people are. They must be able to reach you 24/7. Or how his mother would sometimes call him by a different name. "Nana." She'd start, then quickly correct herself. "I mean Chukwudi." I asked him once. "No old nickname from village," he said, laughing. "You know how our mothers are. Sometimes I'm Chucks, sometimes I'm No, sometimes I'm, come here you boy." I laughed with him. I trusted him. God, I was such a fool. 3 months ago, Chukwudi went on another work trip. This one was longer than usual, for weeks. But he called every day. Sent me money for upkeep. Everything normal. Until his cousin Obine called me at 3 am on a Tuesday. "Sister Chinaza, Chukwudi is dead." The room started spinning. What are you saying?" "He had an accident on Enugu-Abakaliki Expressway." "Sister, he's gone." The next few days were a blur of tears, sympathizers filling our apartments, and funeral arrangements. His mother arrived from the east, wailing so loud our neighbors came out. His brothers came. His cousins. His uncle who was a retired permanent secretary. Everyone was crying. Everyone was mourning the wonderful man who was taken too soon. The funeral was on a Saturday. Big. Expensive. His bank colleagues came, branch managers from all over. My own family formed a wall around me as I wept at the graveside. "In Jesus' name, we commit our brother Chukwudi to the ground," the pastor said. Ashes to ashes. That's when my phone started ringing. I didn't tell anyone about the call. Not even Temi. How could I? Oh, someone called during the funeral to say she's also married to Chukwudi. They'd think Lagos sun was finally affecting my brain. I pushed it away. Grief was making me hear things, making strange things seem real. But that night, alone in our bedroom, my bedroom now, surrounded by Chukwudi's things, the call felt too specific to be random. The woman knew about the funeral. She knew I was his wife. She said, also. I checked his drawers, something I'd never done before. Why would I? I trusted my husband. In the back of his sock drawer, under a pile of polo socks I'd bought him for Christmas, I found a second wallet. Inside, an ID card. Chukwudi's face. Different name. Nana Okoro. My hands started shaking. There was more. An old Nokia phone. I charged it, hands trembling as I waited for it to power on. 47 unread messages from my wife, 2 hearts. The latest: no, the children are asking when you're coming home. I'm managing the shop but money is finishing. Oh. Please send something. Children. Children. I sat on that cold floor until morning came, scrolling through messages that painted a picture of a whole different life. A life in Abakaliki. A life with another woman. A life with children, 3 children based on the photos. Photos of MY husband at birthday parties with kids calling him daddy. Photos of MY husband in traditional attire I'd never seen, standing next to a woman in the village square. Photos of MY husband looking happy. The same way he looked happy with me. Which version was real? Or were both lies? I called the number from the funeral. She picked on the first ring. You saw it, she said. Not a question. You found something. Who are you? My voice was shaking. My name is Adama. Chukwudi, we knew him as Nana, was my husband for 8 years. We have 3 children together. I'm the one who born them, trained them, managed the provision store he opened for me in Abakaliki. Every month, he would come home for 1 week, then go back to Lagos for business. That's what he told me. That he was doing import-export, traveling to secure deals. You're lying. But even as I said it, I knew she wasn't. Sister, I know they lie. When they called me to say he died, I wanted to die join them. But his family, her voice turned bitter, his mother said I should not come for burial. She said if I show face, they would disgrace me and my children. She said Lagos people don't know about us and it must remain that way. She gave me 200,000 naira to shut up. My mother-in-law. Sweet Mama Chucks, who brought me fresh fish and called me her daughter. She knew. All along, she knew. But I'm not shutting up, Adama continued. Because everything Nana worked for, all the property in his name, his pension, his savings, they are saying it's all going to you. He's a real wife in Lagos. Like me and my children are nothing. Like 8 years of my life was nothing. I should have been angry at her. But all I felt was a strange kinship. We were both women who loved the same man. Women who believed his lies. Women who were now left picking up pieces. What do you want from me? I asked quietly. Come to Abakaliki. Come and see the truth of who your husband was. Then we can decide what to do. I told Mama Chucks I was traveling to Asaba for work. I couldn't face her yet. Not until I knew everything. The journey to Abakaliki took 7 hours by bus, 7 hours of my mind racing, piecing together all the signs I'd missed. The trips. The second phone. The extra money that somehow disappeared even though his salary should have been enough. He was maintaining 2 lives. 2 complete lives. 4 years. Adama met me at the park in Kirekpiri. She looked nothing like me, short where I was tall, dark where I was light-skinned, quiet where I was animated. Why would a man choose 2 women so different? Unless that was the point. We were so different, we'd never exist in the same spaces, never accidentally meet. Come, she said simply. She took me to a compound in Abakaliki, Maine. Not a face me I face you, but an actual house. 3 bedrooms. Painted. DSTV antenna on the roof. He built this for us 4 years ago, Adama said. He said Lagos was just for making money, but this, she gestured around, this was home. 3 children ran out. Girl, about 10. Boy, about 7. Another boy, about 4. They looked exactly like Chukwudi. Same eyes. Same smile. Same gap in the front teeth. Mama, "Who is this auntie?" the girl asked. Adama's eyes filled with tears. "Go inside. Go watch TV." After they left, she showed me everything. Marriage certificate dated 2016, 3 years before he married me. Birth certificates for all 3 children. Photos spanning years. A whole documented life. "But how?" I whispered. "How did he? My wedding was in Lagos. Didn't people talk?" "Sister, this is Nigeria. Igbo man can marry in Lagos, marry in village, nobody will know if the families agree to keep it quiet. His mother orchestrated everything. She told our side of the family that Lagos people are just business partners, that I'm the real wife. She told your side, who knows what lies she told you people." My phone rang. Mama chokes. I watched it ring out. She called again. Again. Then a text, "Chinaza, where are you? We need to discuss Chukwudi's property. Come to my house in Surale tomorrow." Property. That's what this was really about. Adama and I stayed up all night, comparing notes like 2 detectives solving a case. Except the case was our own lives, and the criminal was dead. He had told me he was sending money to his mother. He told her he was investing in Lagos real estate. He told Adama he was building import-export business. Meanwhile, where did all the money actually go? The house in Lekki alone. I started. Is rented, Adama finished. I found the receipts when I went through his things after he died. He was paying 2.5 million a year. My stomach dropped. But he said a lot of things, sister. The pension he told me about. Going to Adama as the official next of kin on his work documents, because he used his real name, Nana Okoro, at work, not the Chukwudi Nonko he married me with. The life insurance. Split between 3 policies, one with me as beneficiary, one with Adama, one with his mother. The man had financially engineered 2 separate lives so thoroughly that even in death, his deception was still working. So what do we do? I asked as dawn broke over Abakaliki. Fight each other for the scraps he left behind. Tear each other apart while his mother and family members help themselves to whatever they can grab. Adama looked at me with eyes that had cried out all their tears. Or we handle this together. Every property, every account, every pension, we document everything, we get lawyers, and we make sure his family doesn't eat everything alone. Whatever is left, we split it. For your children. For our future. Because God knows that man already took enough from both of us. For the first time since I'd arrived, Adama smiled. Sister, I think we go understand each other. We came back to Lagos together 3 days later. The look on Mama Choksa's face when she opened her door and saw both of us standing there, chai, if cameras could capture shock. Chinaza. Who is? Good afternoon, Mama, I said sweetly. This is Adama. Your son's first wife. The one you told to stay away from the funeral. We've come to talk about family matters. Should we discuss them here in the corridor where your neighbors can hear, or will you let us inside? What followed was 6 hours of the truth finally coming to light. Mama Chucks tried to deny, to deflect, to play the grieving mother card. But we had documents. Photos. Messages. Receipts. Both literal and metaphorical. He was going to leave you, she finally spat at me. He told me. Lagos was just business. He was going to come back home to his real family. And yet he married me legally, I countered. And yet his colleagues knew me as his wife. Seems like your son was very good at telling people what they wanted to hear. In the end, we did exactly what we'd planned. Got lawyers. Froze accounts. Documented everything. When Chukwudi's brothers came talking about tradition and family property, we showed them legal papers that shut down their entitlement quick. The life insurance money was split between me and Adama. The pension would go to supporting the children's education. The car was sold, money divided. Every property in Chukwudi's real name went into a trust for the children. His family was furious. "This is not how we do things," his uncle thundered. "Your nephew also didn't do things the right way," I replied calmly. But here we are. It's been 8 months since that phone call at the funeral. 8 months since my entire life revealed itself to be a beautiful lie. Adama and I are not friends, how can we be? We were both married to the same man, both lied to, both used. But we have an understanding. We call each other once a month, update each other on the legal processes, share information about Chukwudi's family's latest attempts to contest things. Sometimes I see her children's photos on WhatsApp status. The girl is top of her class now, proper school fees paid. The boys are learning piano. Adama expanded her shop with her share of the money and tells me business is booming. Me? I moved out of that Lekki apartment. Turns out I didn't want to live in a rented house filled with memories of a man who never really existed. I got a smaller place in Ikeja, something I'm paying for with my own salary. Started therapy. Started actually living for myself. Sometimes people who knew us see me in church or at the market and look at me with pity. Oh, that poor woman whose husband died. If only they knew the full story. If only they knew that I'm grieving not just a man, but an entire reality that never was. My mother asks when I'll consider marrying again. Chinaza, you're still young. You can't let one bad experience. Mommy, please, I cut her off gently. Let me heal first. Because that's what I'm doing now. Healing from loving a ghost. A man who was never who he claimed to be, who created entire universes of lies and somehow kept them from colliding until death forced the truth out. Do I hate him? Some days, yes. Some days I'm so angry I could scream. But most days, I just feel sad. Sad for Adama who gave him 8 years and 3 children and got treated like a secret. Sad for myself who gave him 5 years and my whole heart and got treated like a Lagos project. Sad for those children who will grow up knowing their father was living a double life. Sad for Chukwudi himself, who must have been exhausted. Imagine maintaining 2 complete personalities, 2 sets of stories, 2 families, for years. Never being able to fully be yourself anywhere because everywhere you went, you were playing a role. What a terrible way to live. What a terrible legacy to leave. Last week, his youngest son, the 4-year-old, asked Adama when Daddy was coming home from Lagos. She sent me the voice note. The boy's small voice, "Mama, you said Daddy is in heaven. But can he come visit? Just on Saturday." I cried when I heard it. Cried for that little boy who deserves better. Cried for all of us caught in the wreckage of one man's choices. But I'm not drowning anymore. I'm swimming. Slowly, but swimming. And if there's anything I've learned from all this, it's that truth always finds a way out. Maybe not immediately. Maybe not conveniently.